Alrighty y'all, welcome back to the channel. I thought I would do a video showing off my axe collection. It's not huge, but I have some. And if you've been watching the channel for any length of time, you know that I've made reviews on some axes as well as unboxing and testing videos. So I just thought I'd show you my collection. So we're going to start off with this one. This is a Prandi Yankee Hatchet. This is a 2-pound head on a 20-inch handle. As you can see, show you guys the profile there. I found this to split pretty good, and it's also very beautiful. This is actually the axe that I'll be using to pound felling wedges if I ever have to fell a tree. I have an aluminum axe scabbard, and I think this is a pretty good size, pretty good compromise between size and power. You can pound a wedge pretty good, but it's not going to be as big as like a full-size felling axe. So really like this one. 1045 carbon steel, made in Italy. Beautiful axe. I picked this one up for $35, although I believe it's about $45 on Amazon right now. This originally had a light coating of varnish on the handle, but I stripped it off. Also, you can see there the head came loose, as is the case with my other Prandi that I have, but that was easy enough to fix. I just pounded in a smaller flat wedge and that tightened it up just fine. Next one we're going to look at is this cold steel Trail Boss. This is the first brand new axe that I bought. I paid $23. I believe it's about 60 or 70 now on Amazon. The price has really gone up. This is my go-to because it's a good size. 1.8 pound head. A typical boy's axe is 2.25 or 2.25. So it's a little bit lighter. It's got that 28-inch handle, so you can certainly put some power into it, and you don't have to bend down as much as you would with like a 24-inch handle. And I found the profile to be pretty good. Show you guys that. If you're chopping deadwood, you can see how this has a taper. Something that just goes straight back with very little taper, it's better for chopping deadwood, but this works really well on greenwood to pop out chips. Also, that nice wide blade is good for limbing. And this has 1055 carbon steel, and I found it to hold a pretty good edge. It's made in Taiwan, so for some people that might be a turnoff, but the axe overall is a really good quality in my opinion. I would definitely recommend it. All right, next, I took this axe off because it's hard to get off that peg because of the shape of the head. But this is a vintage axe I picked up for $4. The handle was painted over, the head was all rusty, so I wire wheeled the head off, sanded down the handle, put some boiled linseed oil on it. 3.5 pound Michigan pattern. All it says is 3.5 M there, so I don't know the manufacturer. Could be a vintage Collins, that would be my guess. And this is the first axe I ever ground. You can see I put that convex edge on it. You can still kind of see the circular scrape marks from the stone. I'll show you guys the profile of that one. There you go. And then I also sanded back on the head a little bit with a sander just to make it look nice. I kind of wish I would have left the patina, but didn't really damage it or anything. And another thing I want to show you guys is this handle. You can see I've got some marks from where I've overstriked, just swinging or even trying to split when I didn't know much better. But this handle, look at how tight the grain is. Very tight grain on that. So that makes a good strong handle. 32-inch handle, if I didn't mention it before, but yeah. My first full-size axe, and I certainly like this one. Next, we have this axe. This axe is a Snow and Neely Woodsman's axe. This is a 3.5 pound Dayton pattern head. Snow and Neely uses 1080 steel in most of their axes, and I believe this full-size axe is 1055. That's just what I heard from a comment on YouTube, because Snow and Neely doesn't have an official website as they're owned by the Amish, and they are made right here in the USA. This one has a 30-inch handle. It originally had a coating of varnish, but I just scraped that off and put boiled linseed oil on it. This one you can see, as with that cold steel Trail Boss, I put my own flat grind on it. And this one seems to penetrate pretty deep. Whereas that axe there doesn't seem to penetrate as much, but it pops chips better and doesn't get stuck as easier. So, I'm definitely learning, you know, but overall pretty happy with that. The next axe that we're going to go over, or hatchet rather, is this one. Marbles Camp Axe. This one here, 1045 carbon steel, just like the Prandi. This is hand forged in El Salvador. From the feel of it, the head is about 1 3/4 pounds, 16-inch handle, and handle is probably my favorite thing about this hatchet because they really put some detail into it. It has the best handle of any of the axes here, except the homemade one that I'll show you guys later. But yeah, it's also hung very well. I haven't had this come loose. If I would, my one complaint about this axe would be that the grind you can see there is a fairly fat convex edge. So sometimes when I split kindling, what I'll do is just hold the piece of kindling with one hand and then try and tap the axe into the end grain of it, because you can't get a piece of you know kindling to stand up vertical, or even if you lay it down flat on a piece of wood and try and swing, you might miss or not be as accurate. So I find it's easiest to sink it into the end grain of the wood and split it. But this one is too fat to really do that. It doesn't want to sink in. Of course, if you swing it, it'll do it, but just delicately trying to make kindling, it's a little bit too fat for that. But overall, really like it. Show you guys my next axe that I use primarily for kindling now. It's another Prandi. This is the Prandi German style hatchet, 1 3/4 pound head, 16-inch handle, and man, this is just beautiful. I only have 2 Prandis. Well, only, it is still more than one, but I've always found them to be beautiful. They're just spectacular. This one chops really well. You can see it's got a skinny blade with a little bit of taper. Also would be a good limmer because of the width of that blade. And because it's so thin at the tip, it's really easy to delicately make kindling. And even though the handle is fairly thick compared to other hatchets, I just like the shape of it. So yeah, that's my main kindling maker right there. Really love it. It's heavy enough to split, larger pieces. Obviously, anything knotty or too big, it's not really going to do because it's a hatchet, but overall, really like it. Now, we'll get into some other hatchets that I have. These are some older ones. This one here is a vintage one. It looks like a Connecticut or Tasmanian pattern. Looks kind of like a Tasmanian based on the width of it and the fact that it has cheeks. That's what it looks like it's modeled after anyhow. And it's a 1 pound head, about a 14-inch handle. This one I got at an estate sale. Got the other one at the same estate sale as well. As you can see, it's got this for pulling nails. I don't know how useful that is on a hatchet, but... And this handle is the original handle. As you can see there, it had some paint on it, and I just sanded it down, put boiled linseed oil on it. Actually kind of like the feel of it. And for this small of a hatchet, it seems to split pretty well. I think it's because of the profile there. Another hatchet, the other one that I got at the garage sale, was this one. This is about a 1 1/4 pound head. I'm not sure what pattern this would be. Maybe a Yankee. I don't know. I'll have to look up at the pattern charts again, but you guys let me know in the comments. That's about a 1 1/4 pound head. That's the original handle as well. Kind of reminds me of like a hammer handle or something. But there you go. I think this thing is beautiful though. Just the shape of the handle, the dark color of it against that wire wheeled head. I think that's a beautiful axe. And this one seemed to split pretty decent as well. So let's get those out of the way. And then we'll get to some projects here. But before we do, I have this axe here. I'm going to guess this is either a 3.5 or a 4 pound on a 32-inch fiberglass handle. Craftsman double bit. I just kind of bought this because I didn't have a double bit and I wanted something just to mess around with. So it served its purpose. If there's any like deadwood on the property that I want to chop just for fun and it's rotten and I know the axe is going in the ground, this is the one I use. So yeah, there's that one. That's kind of the, rough axe that I just kind of use for rough work and that. And then I do also have a splitting maul here. Council tool, a 6-pound sledge eye. Sledge eye, of course, meaning it has a round eye in it for the sledge hammer handles. They do have an axe eye style splitting maul handle. It's not a felling axe handle. It's not a boy's axe handle. It's made for splitting maul, but it's more of an oval shape that's more convenient to hold. Feels a little bit better. So yeah, council tool. Don't know what steel they use. It is American made. Be sure to check out my video on this and what I think about this one. All right, now we're going to get into some of the projects that I have. We'll actually start out with this one. This is a Craftsman Michigan pattern, 3.5 or 4 pound. As you can see there, I took a little bit of edge length out of it because it had some pretty bad chips in it. You can see it's fairly fat. I also have the original handle over there. Still says Craftsman. All right. Now this is the first axe I ever had. This is a Craftsman broad hatchet. I actually found this in the woods, and me and my dad made this handle, which I took off because I need to rehang it because the head was pretty loose on it. I would swing it, and there'd be about that much gap between the bottom of the handle and the head, so decided to take it off, and we're going to rehang that. But this handle is really good length, good shape. Then I also have this, which is a 2.25 pound Dayton pattern boy's axe. So I'm thinking about having a 24-inch handle on that because that'd be about, regular boy's axe weight head on a shorter handle. I really like those 24-inch handles, but obviously because this one isn't hung, I don't have one currently. So it's good size. The 28-inch is better for more power, not having to bend down as much, but a 24-inch is size that I like because, you can get this, you can put 2 hands on, but a 24-inch is much better while still being more compact, kind of shorter than something like that 28-inch Cold Steel Trail Boss. So those are all my axes and projects. While you guys are here, I figure I may as well show you my splitting wedges. These are some homemade aluminum splitting wedges I made, milled out from 775 aluminum, which is stronger than regular. Be sure to check out my video. I'll leave a link in the description to my testing of these wedges. And then I also have a video describing kind of how I made them and what features I added to them. And then I also have a video about some of these wedges. This is a 4-pound twisted wedge, Harbor Freight 5-pound straight wedge. This is a 3-pound vintage wedge. I have a video in the description about which splitting wedge is best. I explain this one, as well as the vintage 5-pound I have. Be sure to also check. I have an unboxing and first impressions on that one, as well as some testing footage. I have a review on that one, review on the Prandi German style, review on the Marbles Camp Axe as well. So be sure to check out my reviews. God bless, and see you on the next one.